Good morning. The first book that we're going to talk to, and yes, I just jumped right in, is my favorite author, Nora Roberts, and her newest book, Come Sundown. I've debated on how to do this. I've debated about reading the synopsis, but honestly, I'm not good at reading out loud like that. If I'm reading to somebody, it's a whole lot different than having to keep looking up. And there will be spoilers, because there's no way around it. Because this book is very involved. So, for me, it was a very heartbreaking book. You have Miss Fancy, who is the great-grandmother, Cora, who's the grandmother, Maureen, and Alice, who are, of course, Cora's children. And then Maureen has 3 kids as well. She has Rory, Chase, and Bodine. 2 guys and a girl. Now, the day the day Maureen gets married, Alice decides she's had enough of the farm life, and she runs away. She's 18, she can do it legally, you know. One of those rebellion, selfish moves. Especially doing it on your sister's wedding day. She decides she's had enough. She went to California, tried to be a movie star. But she's had enough, and she turns 21 and decides she wants to come home. Truck breaks down. She's walking it. She's hiking. Which usually doesn't bother her, but you know, she's got a long way to go. She hitchhikes. There's a truck that comes by. It's a pretty vacant road, so if you find a truck, I guess, you know, you really want to hitch that ride. But she chose the wrong truck to try to get into. He kidnapped her. Chained her up in a basement like an animal. And I think they figured for 26 years he had beaten her. He had raped her. There was never a name. She was to always call him Sir. The day she found out she was pregnant for the first time, the beating stopped. She thought he wouldn't want her anymore. Well, that was a lie. He wanted her pregnant. He wanted her to bear sons, because a man needed sons. The woman was supposed to be the wife and do the wifely duties, supposedly. Can you imagine that, though, for 26 years? The first baby she had was a girl. He had no use for girls. He sold her. He took her baby girl away barely after she was born, and sold her. And it started again. she hadn't even fully healed from the childbirth, and he had started again. She had a boy, and she got to keep him about 6 months or so, I guess. He started to walk, and the day she showed him that he could walk on his own was the day he took him. And that set the precedent for the rest of the kids. She had 6 total in 26 years. And 1 had died. And all that time, there was a lot of anger from Miss Fancy, sadness from Cora, and Maureen had a bit of both in her. But her daughter, Bodine, was a very logical woman. She couldn't comprehend why they had how such feelings affected him at that moment. So, we see a little bit of why those feelings were still there. We see how the